Finally, it's Scarlet and Violet season. We've been waiting a long time for these games, and for good reason. There is a ton of new to do here. No longer do you just go route to route to route. Pokemon is open world. You can go wherever you want, and we want to help set you up for the best adventure possible. The best way to get started, the best things to do now that the sky is the limit, the world is the limit, the order is the limit. So welcome to our list of the top 10 things you must do first when you crack open Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So it's a whole new world, but the number one thing you need to try out first is leaping off the top of a big cliff. Unlike past Pokemon games, they do not hold back those box legendaries. You're going to be with Koraidon or Miraidon very early on because they are your Bike-mon. This is your method of transportation, and man, oh man, rise up, fly down, and it really shows how big this world is.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I think it's a lot more fun riding a cool dragon than it is paying like $1 million Poké for a bike that can go fast sometimes. It's really cool to be able to jump and fly around. And yeah, it's something you could do in Legends Arceus, but again, you weren't doing it on a crazy cool prehistoric or futuristic dragon thing.
Multi-purpose. He can run, he can fly, there's no switching here. It is Koraidon, Miraidon for life, and truly it shows the scope of these games. So get up high and watch the world fly by.
Indeed. And that'll bring us into number 2, which if you're a fan of any of the recent Pokemon games, you know that they have let you customize yourself. But this game, it's a little different. And I will say, in some ways, it's a lot cooler, and in others, it's a little bit less cool. But they did happen to go the Splatoon route, where now there are stores for individual clothing items. Meaning, if you want to get socks, go to the sock store. You want to get a hat, you get it. But basically, they give you everything that you would like. You can customize your trainer as much as possible, unless you want to change the shirt and pants, which in that case, you only got 4 options, but
And they let you just pick your look. You don't have to pick a girl trainer, boy trainer. It is very flexible. It's very fluid, and it's very fun to go and customize. But like you said, there's a little limitation on those uniforms. TBD on if you can actually wild out with different outfits. But you can wild your Pokemon out. And number 3 is to terrastalize somebody. Find a friend and terrastalize the heck out of them. Crystal up these Pokemon, because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet look the coolest with terastallization. I know that the gimmick was a bit ho-hum when it was first announced, but it sounds like you get terastallization very early on, and you'll be using it early and often. It is a very nice look and a way to power up your Pokemon to push through those early battles.
And not only does it look cool, but who doesn't want a gigantic flower on top of your Pikachu's head sometimes? I think aesthetically, just kind of cool.
Yeah, it will go deeper with the ability to mix and match types, but even early on, it just really is, dare I say, this is the best individual look graphically that Pokemon has ever achieved.
Absolutely. Up next is our little friend Gimmighoul, who, if you have seen any of the recent trailers, know that he is a little gremlin that happens to bear a very striking resemblance to me for some reason, as Zach pointed out to me when they announced him. And he's just tons of fun. It looks like he's going to be hidden all over the map, which, this being an open world game, should be a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll constantly be running into little Gimmighouls all over. And I'm just really excited to seeing what this little guy has in store for us.
Where will you find him? Atop of a sign? Above an awning? He's so small, it's just a little bug, and his little coin flipping, you bet you can hear that from everywhere. So it will be fun to see where Gimmighoul hides himself, and I do feel like this is the most sticky Pokemon of all of Gen 9. This is the one that Game Freak had a lot of fun placing around the maps, so definitely make sure you spot one of those early. And oh my goodness, its evolution. Number 5 is take advantage of this game's ability to sequence break the storyline. All right, the gyms are out there, and you can do them in any order. I'm not advocating going straight for Gym 8, but it does sound like there are going to be little descriptors that let you know, hey, this guy is a pushover, and this gal is really tough. So I don't know, get adventurous, do not follow Route 1, and instead go and challenge someone early. Even if you lose, it's a good insight into where the game will head and what type of mons you'll face off against as you progress. Plus, it just seems really fun, and if you are able to somehow secure the victory via matching up the types appropriately, what a great feeling. Grabbing badge 3 before badge 1, this is the new era of Pokemon, Joseph. This is what we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there was a little bit of a sense of sadness when we found out that the gyms didn't scale. I think it's really cool that we can take it more as a challenge than saying that they didn't want us to, tackle it in any way. So if you are smart enough and you are brave enough, try it. Try to beat that 8th gym right off the bat. And the fact that we even have that option is something to really look forward to. Next up, going back into the world of terrestrialization, you can find some pretty crazy wild Pokemon with Terra types that maybe you wouldn't otherwise see. We already saw in the trailer a Jigglypuff who has a water Terra type, meaning this has opened up the world of Pokemon in ways that I don't think anyone could really foresee. If you want a Pikachu that has a ghost typing, go and find it. And that's where it gets a lot of fun, because now you're going to be able to go into your friends' games, find these rare mon that you will not see anywhere else, and it just brings the trading and the capturing all of them to a literal another level.
Absolutely. They sparkle and shine on the map, and so you have an opportunity to say, ooh, let me find a fire Pokemon because I don't like Fuecoco anymore. And now I can get I can get my Mankey fire type and really take it to the terrestrialization, I think, ends up being something that we look back and say, wow, we misjudged this. It actually is pretty darn cool. Number 7 may or may not be cool depending on your style of Pokemon preference. Try out the Let's Go battle mode as soon as you can to see what that's all about. Basically, they have decided to implement a mode where your Pokemon auto battle as you run around exploring. Now, this is supposed to enhance your ability to freeform tackle the world however you see fit, while still gaining some XP and still clearing out some of the many crowded fields of wild Pokemon. But I do feel like a subset of players are going to feel like this is kind of baby mode or easy mode or play it yourself mode.
Yeah, with a game that's already as easy as Pokemon, I'm sure a lot of people are going to chalk this up to just, again, being another hand-holding gimmick. And of course, the name being Let's Go will always have people thinking back to Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, which is already a sore spot for a lot of Pokemon fans, even though those games are fantastic. One thing that we did find out pretty recently is that at least you don't have to worry about shiny Pokemon being killed in the Let's Go mode. It does seem like that is something that won't happen. So at the very least, you don't have to worry about that, but this mode is definitely going to be something that is going to change depending on who plays it. So hopefully if it's something that you're into, give it a shot, because I personally think it's pretty fun.
And you will be forced to at some of the Team Star battle arenas. So
very true. You don't really have a choice.
Exactly.
And next up, we have ride up to a Poke gas station, because yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the modern era, and we need to get Miraidon and Koraidon gassed up somehow. Basically, all over Paldea is these cool like Pokemart / Poke Center gas stations where you can also go meet up with your friends and create TMs. It's a really cool little break, I think, and them using it as gas stations really just furthers the idea that this is a big open world. Not only that, but you do have access to, again, creating TMs, which are very, very important. And the way you create TMs is by basically beating Pokemon in the wild, getting some items that they drop, and then turning those into moves. So this, again, is a multi-purpose thing. It is not just a Pokemon Center. This is also where you meet up with your friends. It's very, very important. You also need to go here to fill up your Terra balls. I think it's going to be an important fold into the game.
Keeps the pace as well. You don't have to go inside and wait through loading screens. It's all in service of keeping you exploring, keeping you in the world, keeping you going, which I do appreciate. And one of the things, as you mentioned, is co-op, and that is number 9. Pair up with somebody. Find a friend and say, hey, let's play this game together and see what that is like. Apparently, you can steal each other's shinies, although steal might be a strong word. Either way, you can explore this big world together, mix and match your Pokemon teams, do some trading, and otherwise just have at it. Your missions are your own, and so you can go and progress together. It'd be interesting to see, Joseph, how the game works with another player running around. That has me a bit worried.
Yeah, I think that's really the only thing that's super left in the air right now, as you know, we are essentially a couple of days out of release. So I do hope that it is everything it's looking to be. And if co-op is something that you're not really into, that's also absolutely fine. This is going to be a Pokemon game through and through, I'm sure. So if you don't have any friends, well, at least you have your Pokemon buddies. And lastly, it brings us to something I think everyone is really excited about, and that is, well, the performance. We've already seen in a couple of trailers that the game doesn't exactly run the best, and unfortunately Game Freak does have a little habit of not exactly going all out when it comes to coding. So I'm sure we're going to see some really fun little hiccups like windmills not moving at all or a proper speed. I do think that at the very least, this will be the nicest looking Pokemon. Just let's not get too excited about how it's going to run.
Yeah, word on the routes is that Poppin is a feature, not a bug, and you might be experiencing some very strange phenomenon in the Paldea region, unlike most other Switch games that, despite their lower resolution and sometimes lower frame rate, still don't seem to be completely erupting at the seams. But we'll have to wait and see how that shapes up when you get your hands on it. Get out there and explore this world. It really is an exciting time to play Pokemon in a whole new style. Let us know what you're most excited to try out first in the comments down below. And if you go with our list, have fun. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay paused out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.